Hello and welcome back to the Byzantines. You may notice at this point that it is pretty much guaranteed that this character will become the next Byzantine Emperor. There's very little we can do about it. If they live, they can be Byzantine Emperor. Well, that's not true. There is one thing we could do about it. We could say that we don't have the aspiration to be Byzantine Emperor and that would lower our chances. But we're not going to do that. Because, although this character is very likely to be the next Byzantine Emperor, it's worth looking at how long they're actually going to be the Emperor for, because I think that's relevant. Because it's not necessarily like we're going to be in charge of the Empire forever if our character happens to inherit it. Let me just show you something. If we have a look at Basilisa Pelagia of the Byzantine Empire, she is 65 and in good health. She is veteran traveller, which means that she's going to have a small health boost. She's going to live for a while. Now, we're going to live longer, but let's say, absolutely ideal situation, she dies at 70, we maybe live to 90. I'm saying we have like a max of 20 years that we could be running the Byzantine Empire for. Now, obviously we could secure our power, but we could just choose not to. At which point, it passes to somebody else, we go back to Epirus, and we've had 20 years to make a change. It doesn't really matter what the change is, but we have an opportunity to move the Empire in a direction that we want it to be moved in. We could, for instance, just do nothing except organize it a little bit and make it a little bit cleaner in order for it to be a little bit more stable. That could be our goal. We could potentially use it as an opportunity as head of the Greek culture to try and bring in a new cultural tradition. We could potentially use it as an opportunity to get all of our vassals to try and increase cultural acceptance. Now, I actually don't think there are any other vassals with Lombard land. Maybe. Actually, no, there are some vassals with Lombard land. So we could try and get these vassals, for instance. What is Mercian Norse, and what are you doing in the Byzantine Empire in charge of Lombard land? Is there a better example? Yeah, like we could try getting this guy to increase cultural acceptance with Lombard, right? We could do that. That's definitely something which is possible. So, there's a lot that we could do as the leader of the Byzantine Empire which would help us without necessarily just securing our power. And I don't think that our heir is actually going to be in line to the Byzantine Empire after us. Let me have a look. It should be easy to tell, right? So this is our son. So this is Gregorius, who is somewhat in line. Can I do view succession for a larger succession? Yeah, there you go. So Gregorius is in line, which is fine. Then we got Hans, and if we go down here, our heir is nowhere to be seen. Now, he will hold land, obviously, when he inherits, which will change things a little bit, but, I mean, how much does holding land give you in terms of succession score? Gives you 20, plus the popular opinion, which we'll lose. He won't be a councillor, he won't be in court position, so he's already down 50 compared to us. It could be that a member of our family ends up being in charge. I could definitely believe that Gregorios or Hans ends up being in charge of the Byzantine Empire after us, but I think it's unlikely that it would be our heir, which, yeah, works out for us. Although I'm not sure how the game's going to work with that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I wonder how the game's going to work when we're in charge of the Byzantine Empire. If our heir is Gregorius, would that make Gregorius our default heir? I suppose in that case we would just choose our destiny and we would just select this guy. Is there something in here? It may designate heir? I don't think I want to designate him as heir. I want the one for the... Let me see if it's on the next character. Just so I can show you what I'm talking about. Favorite child. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I can't do it, because it can't already be your primary heir. So I guess we could just mark him as favorite child and then we can play as him. Yeah, it's probably the easiest way for us to manage this situation. Yeah. Because I was thinking, if we're in charge of the Byzantine Empire, right? And our heir ends up being Gregorius. Gregorius would be our primary heir because he would be inheriting our primary title. So yeah, all we have to do is choose favorite child and then choose my destiny. And then we can switch over to David, which I think would make a lot of sense. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm not, we're not taking control of the Empire, but we could use it as an opportunity to have a turn, to move it in a direction that we want. That's what I want to see. Anyway, in terms of other stuff, we did say we were going to do the governorship confirmation this time, which will get us renown and is worth doing, so we should do it. It will give us stress, but we're currently as unstressed as we've ever been. So let's go. Is this the route you want to take, huh? Let's just clear these out. I want to hire experienced captains. And then I want to go like this. Yeah, there we go. And you are going to go like this. Perfect. That means that we at no point step on land, therefore don't need anything that isn't an experienced captain. Wonderful. Seems good to me. Let's go. Okay. And we now have a regent. We stick the regent on to fill coffers because it's what we want. Wonderful. Right. It's also been suggested that we potentially mentor some of our children and other family members who've got land. Potentially, as in mentor them to get them the extra stats. And governorship, whatever it's called. I can pardon my brother. Failed to treat kin. I'll pardon him for that. No problem. Yeah. Failed to treat just means that there was a bad outcome for a treatment, which doesn't really matter. Anyway, I got distracted when I was saying that. Yeah, so they're meaning do something like go to this guy and then do a mentor and governorship. Or we could do the same to whoever. We could do to this guy and do mentor and governorship. Which is definitely an option. Definitely an option. We'll think about it. Anyway, I don't think we can even do political schemes while we're traveling. I think it would be put on hold, so yeah. Let's head over here. In the Chrysotriklinos of Constantinople's chief palace, Basilissa Pelagia, God's regent on earth, sits in splendor. An endless line of officials await, all in awe, all in eagerness to kneel before her sovereign. Yet the Basilissa's voice is warm and relaxed as she addresses me and presents my regalia. You are to sharpen the sword of Epirus, she says, and have it be wielded only by the righteous. I voice all the proper responses, and, bowing deeply before my liege, I, at last, take up the scepter of provincial authority. Wonderful. So it gets us renown, and it gets us a little extra prestige and a little extra influence and opinion. Main thing is the renown, though, because now we're only about 100 away from getting our next dynasty legacy. Magnificent garden is complete. Wonderful. There's level 3 garden. What do I need for the next level? Mansion building. Okay, cool. So we can't get any further, but we at least have the garden, which means that we get increased stress loss, which is nice. Is there anything else I can build here? It says I can build here. I do have internal upgrade slots if I want to. We could potentially look at that. Yeah, potentially. Brother is in line to something that started with a B, which isn't too helpful because I clicked it away. It might be a lower title, in which case I don't care. I think it's a lower title. Okay, cool. Oh, you know what I could do? I could look at my brothers and just see who's in line to whatever. You're in line to this. This them. Okay, so I guess it wasn't a lower title. Yeah, he's thoroughly in line to it due to his own investments. Due to Gregorius and Hans trying to push him in charge. Oh. A band of 2. Passing through a back alley in Thebes, I see a lonely child and her dog sitting in a corner behind a small wall. Here you go, Valor, he tells it as he hands it a small piece of bread, keeping none for himself. Looking at the 2, clearly the dog has been taken much better care of than its owner. The kid must be giving it everything he can find. I can give some money to the kid and we get general opinion. Okay, +5, or I don't have time for filthy orphans. So, 25 gold gives us 50 piety and a general opinion boost for 5 years. Or, we get 2 days progress. I'll take this. This seems pretty good. Yeah. May even pay for itself with money that we can get. Why are you no longer my master of the Hun? Oh, you're infirm. Oh. This may be the end of Akakios. Interesting. Okay. We have gone inside. We don't need to found a holy order. We do potentially need to upgrade our army as we were just tasked to. Yeah, let's go in here and let's get another men-at-arms one. We have enough money to really get one started. So we currently have these guys who are spearmen. and these guys who are bowmen. So bowmen counter skirmishers. Spearmen counter cavalry. You also counter archers. Okay, you counter archers. What counters? Yeah, so you counter your. I'm just working this out again. Sorry, just gonna go through it again in my head and out loud. You counter these guys. These guys counter archers. Archers counter skirmishers. We need to block whatever is countering the spearmen. Yes. Okay. So what counters spearmen? That's heavy footmen, right? Yeah. So we need something that counters heavy. We need something that counters heavy infantry, which is going to be you. Yes. Okay. So the Akritai. So these are very cheap skirmishers, but they counter heavy footmen. Now these guys are good in mountains, desert mountains, hills, forest, and wetlands. And that's the main difference between them and light footmen, which are good in forest, taiga, and jungle, which aren't really around here. So these guys will be worse if we leave our area, as in like if we leave our area of terrain. But if we're staying in here, then they'll be better. I think that's what we worked out last time. Yeah, because these guys have slightly less toughness, but they'll get a bonus for being in the terrain which is near us. So yeah, and they're a little cheaper, so let's buy them. Wonderful. We can even buy to max size, because, I mean, they're practically free. There we go. We could also potentially get our Imperial armies up a little bit now as well. Let's, for now, just increase this group of people to max size. That's us committed to our Imperial army for now. Right. So it's actually a pretty big army size increase. Cool. Oh, and we can station our new men-at-arms. This one. In. Not many of them give bonuses. Or, like, reasonable ones. Let's go here. And I think I can station you as well if I want to, right? Oh, you're already stationed. Never mind. Well, there we go. Wonderful. Okay, cool. Rampant bandits. Oh. Oh, all the way over here? Yeah, we'll go deal with it. We leave at once. Is this where the only place we want to go? I kind of want to go to here as well. Yeah. Can I go to Venice as well? Let's see if it will let us. So, first of all, is this the route I want to take? This is extremely dangerous, apparently. Like, this is extremely, extremely dangerous. To the point where I might need to go mercenary guards to start with. Followed by... what is it? Forest? So I need to bring in a forest guide as well? Yeah. Okay. In which case, I might not want to go to Venice. How dangerous is the sea? Only 3? Okay. Customize route. Can I go afterwards to Venice? And then back? Yeah. Seems to let me. Wonderful. Let's do this. It's going to be slightly dangerous on the way back. We have one dangerous province here. So can I just adjust it to go through here instead? No, really, I want you to go to the sea. There we go. Right. That seems reasonable. Yeah, we have 2 that are medium danger, which we have to go through no matter what. And then we have 6 sea tiles, which are low chance. Yeah, let's do it. Wonderful. And we're off. Okay, on to the boats. Gregorius's first bond. As I discuss some court affairs with my son Gregorius, he abruptly starts discussing his childhood. Father, you cared for me like the hound minds its pups. Better even. My earliest, fondest memories were with you. When I placed my first fallen tooth in your hand, you held me so close. He blushes, beaming. I'll pass the loving care on to my children. So we get role model parent for 15 years, child opinion goes up, we get more stress loss, and we get some extra piety. Such devotion will get a strong hook on this guy, which means he can't act against us, not that he would anyway, or don't dwell on the past. I'll be a role model parent, that's fine. St. Nicholas's toll. Sharp gusts and lingering squalls have kept the ship tipping and rolling for hours. As I stand on the deck, clutching firmly onto the mast, I see the chest carrying my Isaeus' Bloodblade has come loose. I'm too far to save it myself, but Veroslav is within reach. However, he would be at risk of falling overboard. There's a 53% chance he dies. But our Bloodblade! It's not good though. Like, it could be in time. It could be good. It's got 2 floral ribbons on it. You know what, Veroslav? This is a risk I'm willing for you to take. Did I at least get the blade? Yes. I might need a new caravan master, though. The martial contest. As we pass through the market in Larino, we hear a loud yell coming from a corner behind one of the stalls, where a group of people are watching 2 men fight. As we get closer, one of them is lifted by the other and tossed several feet away, followed by the crowd cheering and money changing hands. "Who's next?" the man yells into the crowd as his eyes scan the crowd. They land on our group. His face splits into a malicious grin as he looks at us. And say, "I will do it." Now, we did it previously. The problem is, previously we had a plus 20 to our prowess, and now we have a minus 2 for old age. It's unlikely we'll win. We could send Giulio in to do it. Again, it's unlikely we win, or it's best to leave. Unfortunately, I think it is best to leave here. Rampant bandits. The denizens of Agnon gladly lead us right to the mouth of the wolf's den. The encampment of outlaws lies just beyond, obscured by brush and broken terrain. What I hear, I judge these folks to be nomadic warriors, tough folk living on the fringes of settled society, so flush on the wealth of my land that they've turned their raiding foray into an extended stay. The foe is not yet alerted to my posse's presence. We have the opportunity to strike however I see fit. So we can do 60-40, lay out our tactic for 65-35, or trap them for 77-22. 77-22, lure him into a trap. Mine is the most cunning trap. A half-naked young soldier with a stolen dinner in hand races towards us. The outlaws, the half-wits, chase right after. We leap from hiding, howling. The terrified foe recognize their mistake. We fall upon them. Moments from death, the nomads surrender to my troops. This group of criminals is rendered harmless, helpless. They are at my mercy. So we can get conscripted workforce for 10 years, which will get us building construction time cheaper, development growth up, and popular opinion up. Pardon their crimes, they'll have to pay a fine, or confiscate anything of value and have them imprisoned. I think I would like 300 gold, please. Thank you. We could start a legend. Yeah, it has been an option for a while. We could definitely start one. It is going to cost us a huge amount of money, though, is the problem. Oh, my half-brother Zacharias would like an alliance. You know what? Sure. We can have an alliance. We can accept it. After all this time. Right. White Squall. White Squall, turn to port! The coxswain's horrifying yell does not suit the calm weather. But my ears are filled with an increasingly louder roar of the wind. In less than a heartbeat, the moist white mist that engulfs... In less than a heartbeat, the moist white mist that engulfs the whole ship, louder than the wind, the main mast cracks and falls overboard. And as suddenly as it came, the squall moves on. Our boat lazily rocks in the calm sea, dragging the torn sails and broken oars along. We can try and raise makeshift sails, which is going to succeed and get us a lot of experience in seasoned adventure, or seasoned traveller, which we actually have already hit level 1 for, which gives us stewardship and prowess. Or we can say, I hope somebody finds us. Let's make the sails. Let's do it. Nice. So we're now a little bit further through seasoned traveller. Cool. Right. Carry on up here. Oh no! Akakios just died. He was killed at a storm in sea. Can no longer employ me as master of the hunt? Wait a second. Wait, I died? Wait a second, I just suddenly realized the person in the bottom left is different. You can view but not affect the game while the succession window is open. Bell clouds gather. I sense fear behind the captain's reassurances. A terrible squall soon engulfs us, lashing the decks with blistering rain as the ship rolls like a plaything. An almighty cracking noise, louder than thunder, like the world itself behind, rent in twain by some dreadful giant, pierces our ears as the vessel buckles beneath our feet. Akakios and I grab each other in terror, watching wide-eyed as a huge wave rushes towards the ship. You died, Captain. Gwilio died. Perchta died. Akakios died. Is it a coincidence that they all died after signing an alliance with Zacharias? I don't think it is. They're all dead. Catapan Theodosius of Epirus has left this world at 59 years of age. He was killed in a storm at sea. A charming man, he became famous for his elaborate feasts and grandiose balls. You see, people were worried about us becoming the Byzantine Emperor. Little did they know we were simply just going to die randomly. Catapan David ascends to the throne. Blessed with an abundance of friends, David is likely to find strong support for his rule. So, he was killed in a storm, he was dreaded, he was illustrious, paragon of virtue. He finished scholar and architect and was in the learning lifestyle. He fought in 3 offensive wars, hosted 5 activities, 2 hunts, 1 university visit, 1 funeral and 1 grand tournament. And he attended 6 activities, 5 feasts and a grand wedding. This is us, 37, we're distinguished and faithful. 37 isn't too bad actually for taking over. It could be much worse. We inherit absolutely everything, which you would expect. And that's it. 42 years for the first character, 27 for the next. And now, it is us. The Catapan of Epirus. With the passing of my father, Catapan Theodosius, who was killed in a storm at sea, it was announced that the governance of the Epirite Capitanates now falls to me. It is now up to me to ensure the continued rule of House Hexavulis in this province. Long nights of lobbying and favour chasing have at last paid off. I'm told my selection as a new Catapan was all but a foregone conclusion. Having received my regalia and taken the oaths of office, I can at last move to my provincial seat at Arta and begin my tenure proper. Okay. Well, there is no time to waste. Also, we just got confirmed as governor and then just died. Okay. So, what I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to do a look but not touch. We're going to work out where we want to go, and then next time we're going to do it. That's what we're going to do with this character. So, let's start by just seeing who we are. So we're level 3 fortune builder, which is interesting. We're obviously maxed out on this. We need to sort out our children, make sure we have, you know, heirs and things, and work out who we want to have each position. Are you ill? You are. I thought you were just like grumpy, but you are ill. We can imprison our spouse for being an adulterer. Okay, which means not all of our children are necessarily ours. We're ambitious, gregarious, and generous. Now, I don't like generous. I think generous is pretty bad. But on the positive side, this gives us a lot of opportunities to not be stressed. Gregarious means that going to any feast or doing anything of that type will lower our stress significantly. And generous, I think, means that giving a gift lowers your stress. Yeah. So we should not be stressed at any point if we don't want to be. Drunkard is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah. Stats are kind of even-ish, which is a bit weird. That's fine. What have we got here? Ongoing heartache. Character's best friend died and they've been unable to fully recover, which gives us more stress, and we went on a drinking binge due to it. Okay. We have the same rival of Lord Nikolaus, which is actually very funny. That's because he was sleeping with our wife. Now I understand it. Yes, that makes sense. Friends, the tutor, Sebastianos of Hiak, and also Eusebia, and an award of Valyria. Okay, cool. We can clear these out. That's fine. So we're not employing court physician because they just died. That's fair enough. We inherited these. We have the court artifact as well, which we've always had. It's fine. Yeah, so I don't think he had any... Oh, actually he had flexible scale armor. I said I'm not going to touch, but I will at least set that in there. And actually I'll change the book as well, because we're probably going to do a stewardship lifestyle. There we go. That's fine. What lifestyle does he have? So he has 2 in here. So he has up till storyteller, so he has access to a hike. He actually has the ability to do hiking. Interesting. Then, oh wow. Alright, well I mean this makes perfect... Like obviously I know what we want to do here. We want to get up to architect. It's what we did previously, but I mean this like makes perfect sense to me. We're actually like 2 away from popular figurehead and then divided attention. This is fantastic. Obviously we're going to do that. That just makes sense to me. Maybe even going the full way down avarice makes sense to me. I think this is pretty good. Is there anything we want off of this? Different culture and faith opinion. That's not that useful. Promote cultural acceptance effectiveness though. We could potentially go down this first, grab this, and use that to try and increase Lombard acceptance. That could potentially be good. Yeah. You're seeing what other stuff we have. Children have the chance to gain prowess in the Traveler trait is also interesting. The earlier you get the Traveler trait, the better, because you get experience every time you go on a trip. So if a child gets it and they continue to go on trips, they will continue to get experience. Wayfarer is interesting as well. Really, I just want of the people on this line. Yeah, maybe Monument Expedition would be okay as well. Yeah, I do like that. Point of interest rewards can learn additional languages. Capital will gain development if you return from travel to a more developed destination. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's some interesting stuff we could get. I kind of feel like this is very, very useful. Potentially, although it gives you 30%. And 30% is not a lot, because as we previously noted, like this doesn't actually go up by very much. Right? Like, even with somebody increasing it. Although it's going up by 0.24 right now, which is not bad. Like, consistently. But yeah, it's at 10%. Okay, so there's a potential path for us here. I guess we're going to be kind of development, same as the previous character, which isn't really what I want to be doing, the exact same thing, but I guess development, maybe try and focus on the cultural acceptance a little bit here. There's stuff we could do. We can do a lot of building as well for this character, which might be alright. Yeah, we need to fill in our council positions when we get there. We need to work out who's going to be in charge of Epirus after us. Currently it's this guy, but we could potentially try and find other people to be in charge. Who's our son? Narcissus. Narcissus is deceitful, ambitious, and curious. Okay, interesting. And then the theme of Epirus is currently Zacharias, our uncle, is next in line. How wild would it be if we just randomly die and then we're back on the original first son's path? That'd be crazy. It's like 2 generations down, we just jump back up. Okay, we could do a funeral or something to lower our stress now. A court tutor and a court jester. Okay, cool. So we have a lot to do next time in terms of assigning positions. Oh, also, Ireland exists. Now, that's not so weird, except for the fact that it wasn't called Ireland last time we looked. It was called Ire, I think. E-I-R-E. But I think it's because they've switched their culture to Irish, when previously it would have been whatever the default culture... Yeah, it might be in Hiberno-Norse or something. Yeah, interesting. So, we're starting to get different names up there. Also, Denmark just randomly hiding in there as well. Yeah, cool. Well, with that, I think I'm going to end the episode. Although, because we're doing it a little early, I do want to have a look at something that somebody mentioned about over here. They said that maybe this split apart because the person who inherited it was a different religion. I think they're the same... Wait a second, there we go. So it went from you to you. I see. So yes, it did switch Yeah, it switched religion here. So that might be why he destroyed it. Or why it got destroyed, or something like that in there may have affected it. That's interesting. And there was also, I missed that there were 2 quick successions as well, actually, when we were looking at this. So yeah, it might have been something to do with that. Maybe this caused instability and then this caused it to split. But yeah, it was quick. It was definitely quick. Also, I'm assuming you're a conqueror. Yeah, we'll do a conqueror check. That's something to do. So, we have Cyber up here, who's still not strong, because unfortunately, no matter how strong you are up here, I mean, like... Oh, you've got 7,000 troops. Never mind. You are actually a little stronger than I thought. I was going to say, all the land up here is generally pretty garbage, so... That's why they tend not to be that strong, even if they expand. Maybe it's because Kimmik right below is kind of halting their expansion a little bit. Possibly. Yeah, maybe. We have Induha, which I think is a brand new conqueror, looking at that. We have Kufa as well, who's a conqueror. There's multiple conquerors in this area. Was their father a conqueror? Ah, it might be this guy was the conqueror and they've inherited it. Never mind. And then we have the Shahrukh Khan Khanate, which is, I think, the only one that's actually actively expanding right now. But, yeah, cool. Anyway, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.